Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.
Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and welcome to the EAC Show, coming to you from sunny South Florida. I got Marcus Mack on the sound.
Yo.
I got Omar Blanco on the video. Emilio Jr. Andy Nasia is with us, and we have a special guest today. Little 7-year-old Marcus Mack's daughter, Janiyah, is with us. Hi, baby. How are you? Good. Nice to see you. You look good. You hanging out with Daddy today? Daddy, you came to work with Daddy? We have a really good show for you. We're going to recap our last episode a little bit. We got a lot of responses. A lot of people were happy with the episode and some of the stuff that we posted on IG. And I got to do a service announcement basically stating that I've never seen Ip Man before, IP Man.
Which surprised me.
And I got to make sure, Marcus Mack, that this weekend I'm definitely going to check out Ip Man.
Yeah.
I heard there's a bunch of them too, right?
It's 4 of them. Ip Man 4 is on Netflix now. So you could definitely check that out.
All right, so I'm definitely going to check out Ip Man. And we basically have so much to talk about. We have a lot of signings. You have Melvin Gordon that ended up signing. Thomas Brady actually did sign his deal with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He signed a 2-year deal, a $50 million deal with $9 million in incentives, and all of it, $50 million is guaranteed. All of it is fully guaranteed. So he'll get an extra $9 million if he hits those bonuses, but he's getting $50 million. He's going to average $25 million a year, which is basically the highest he's ever been paid.
Yeah,
overall,
that definitely was close to what they was talking about before, right?
Yeah, of course. 30, I mean, a lot of the older quarterbacks, Drew Brees and the one that went to Indianapolis, Phillip Rivers, ended up getting pretty much around the same deal. So you got Russell Wilson, who's making about $35 million. He's the peak. Ben Roethlisberger's underneath him.
Didn't Aaron Rodgers get a really good
Aaron Rodgers right underneath that. He's the third one. Aaron Rodgers right underneath that. I think you got Goff, who's next underneath that, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. But, I mean, for the older quarterbacks, he stays in line with what they get, and that number is about $25 million a year. I mean, a lot of people are happy. I'm calling him Thomas, like we said in the last episode. Thomas Brady. He's at that age where, you know what, you need to be addressed the proper way. So I'm calling him Thomas
with
Brady.
His credentials at this point. Definitely.
Thomas Brady has put life into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their attendance has been atrocious the past couple years. They've been at the bottom there last when it comes to attendance. And in all actuality, the Tampa Bay Bucs are trying to benefit off of this. Season tickets for new season ticket holders, the price have skyrocketed. They raised the prices on new season ticket holders. For the loyal season ticket holders, they get the same price.
Buccaneers.
Yes. And Tom Brady's jersey on NFL.com has been the number one seller. It's like up 900%. So he's literally already, Tampa Bay is reaping the benefits off of him going to Tampa Bay.
That 25 average, that 25 million average is definitely well deserved.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
bank off of that.
Tom is global. I mean, his name, he's a winner.
Household brand.
Yeah, his name, he's a winner. I'm pretty sure he's going to probably try to figure out to do something with that ownership group down there in Tampa Bay and figure out, next thing you know, we're going to start seeing TB12 gymnasiums all, instead of in Boston, we're going to see them now in Tampa,
Yeah.
So Thomas will figure out a way to market himself the right way, and it's a good overall deal. It's good for football. It's good for that division. That division now it's always been led by Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. And now Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to fight for that division and hopefully becoming, the first place in the South, the NFC South. So, also we got Melvin Gordon, who signed a deal today. Melvin Gordon ended up leaving the LA Chargers and signing with the Denver Broncos. And that is a 2-year deal for $16 million. And the crazy part about it, I think 13.5 of it is guaranteed. Melvin Gordon had a deal in place, Marcus Mack. Last year, I think they were trying to offer him, the Chargers was like a $10 million average, and he felt like he was getting smacked in the face. He actually took...
That is kind of low.
But if you think about it, he only took $3.5 million more because it's a 2-year deal, but it's only 13.5 guaranteed. So if you think about it, the second year is kind of like flimsy. It's not real.
Yeah.
So if they cut him after 1 year, they only have to pay him $3.5 million. So it's pretty much the same exact deal on annual as the Chargers was offering, which was a 1-year deal for $10 million. So, I mean, he didn't really play the market the best he could, but He ended up getting a deal. He's going to Denver. Denver's getting a running back and can catch the ball out of the backfield and can also tote the rock, take 20 carries or whatever it may be. So that's also extremely important. We saw Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley ended up going to the Atlanta Falcons, and that's crazy because Todd Gurley was a free agent for maybe like 5 seconds. He literally got released yesterday, and he has a new team today. A little bit has to do with the fact that the LA Rams were trying to trade Todd Gurley either to the Miami Dolphins or the Atlanta Falcons. I guess the Atlanta Falcons felt like, we don't really want to trade assets for him, knowing that the Rams had to let him go anyway. So they just waited it out, and they ended up getting their man. Having Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, and Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley going back to Georgia where he played college football is extremely important. He's going to have a level of comfort out there. He's going to have people he knows, so that's a good thing for that state. Hopefully they can get back and become competitive because that division right now has just became one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. You got the Atlanta Falcons, you got the New Orleans Saints, and you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Carolina Panthers are still a little ways away. You know, they're bringing in Teddy. They're bringing in a new head coach. I don't know any of their receivers. I don't know any of their tight ends. So it's going to be a work in progress. They lose Luke Kuechly on defense. I mean, you lose Cam, you lose Greg Olsen. You're losing too many pieces, and you're going to have to replace them with young players. So I think that division, even though it's tough, I think Carolina ends up in last place, and the other three are fighting for first place and maybe a wild card spot. I'm trying to think what else happened today. What else happened today that was exciting in the NFL? Not too much. I mean, I saw a little bit about Darius Slay and Marcus Mack. I'm going to put you on to what ended up happening. So Darius Slay is a cornerback for the Detroit Lions, and he gets traded from the Detroit Lions to the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And then when he gets traded, he gets the highest contract. The minute he gets traded, he gets the highest contract for a cornerback in the NFL history. So he's the highest paid cornerback ever. After he gets paid and he gets traded, he ends up going on First Take. And when he goes on First Take, he's telling all the guys on First Take about his relationship with Matt Patricia, his head coach. So his head coach basically was one of those rough head coaches. He's formerly from New England underneath Bill Belichick's staff. And he's basically explaining how he can't respect him as a man because he told him to go, I guess he posted a picture of him and somebody else on the team, and that person had a really good game or a really good practice, and Darius Slay was like, shouting him out on Instagram. So I guess the coach started the next meeting with that picture, that social media post, right? Yeah. And told him, stop sucking his you-know-what.
Wow. In
front of everybody.
Yeah, it got real disrespectful.
Yeah. But in my opinion, I mean, I don't think that's right, but I think it's grown men. And maybe it was taken the wrong way by Darius Slay, but that's something you shouldn't do as a head coach.
But how else is that supposed to get taken?
I mean, he probably wanted to just poke a little fun at him, but it wasn't funny. It didn't go the way he thought it was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? When you're that comfortable with somebody, you can do things like that. But I think he went a little bit
in that way, though.
It was in a team meeting. You know, sometimes coaches like to start team meetings with a little bit of banter or a little bit of jabbing at each other. You know what I mean? So for example, they'll have highlights of somebody actually having a bad game and be like, all right, let's not do this anymore. Okay, guys, let's not do this anymore. You know what I mean? So maybe it was just his poor taste of trying to be funny, and it didn't come out the way he wanted it to come out.
We'll label it as that poor taste.
Well, congratulations to Darius Slay. He's a really good cornerback. He ended up getting paid. Well worth it. 2-time Pro Bowler. He goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are getting a much-needed cornerback that they need because their cornerbacks were atrocious last year. They sucked. They were so awful. It wasn't even funny. I mean, they were still living on the past. Anybody who played against Philadelphia Eagles against the cornerbacks, they were getting 300 yards passing against them easily, no problems. So that was another thing that happened today. But back to what we were discussing on the last episode.
Don't forget the coronavirus update with Sean Payton.
Oh yeah. We'll get into that in the second segment. Right. But what we wanted to talk about pretty much was the interaction that we were getting on IG, because my phone was getting blown up, Marcus Mack, because we did the top 5 sports movies of all time. And so many people were they were going back and forth. How'd you forget this? How'd you forget that? How'd you forget this? this was exactly why we created the IG post, because we wanted people to interact.
Yeah, because there's so many. I can't lie to Love and Basketball has to be in the top 5.
I mean,
and we all missed.
That. I got flack for missing Sandlot. I got flack for missing so many movies. Any Given Sunday. How'd you miss Any Given Sunday? I'm like, dude, he got game. I'm like, stop DMing me and literally put it in the chat.
That.
Yeah. People,
how you forget Jesus Shuttlesworth?
Jesus Shuttlesworth. I mean, and to this day, there's still so many other movies. So the post is still on there. Please still comment on it. We want to hear more from you guys, because we are interacting back and forth, and that's where we could talk about some of that stuff. I mean, there was so many others. I'm trying to remember so many other Mighty Ducks. How did you forget Banksy and the Boys? I'm like,
no, we said Mighty Ducks.
No, we didn't. None of us said it.
Joey said Mighty Ducks.
No, Joey's list. No, he didn't. Joey's list was complete. Joey's list was, and I'm gonna recall this real quick. Joey's list was Slapshot, Angels in the Outfield, Remember the Titans, and then the 2 Major League movies. And then
Angels in the Outfield.
Right, and then Cameron's list was Friday Night Lights, Angels. Remember the Titans, Miracle on Ice. What else did I say? What am I forgetting? I forgot. But it wasn't any of those movies. It wasn't. But I was getting. And people were texting me or DMing me, and I'm like, say it on the page. Like, stop DMing me. You're not helping the cause.
They wanted you to say.
Oh, shout out to one of our followers. She actually shouted out A League of Their Own. And you know me, I always rep the women.
Okay,
that was a good movie. There's no crying in baseball. So Tom Hanks and Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell. So shout out to them. Waterboy. How do we miss the Waterboy?
H2O.
Somebody got on me. Somebody got on me because I posted a picture or a video on Instagram of Happy Gilmore and us getting ready for the coronavirus. She's like, how the hell did you forget about Happy Gilmore? There's only so many movies that I can post. Yeah,
that was Adam Sandler.
Yeah, where he takes the shot. He goes into the little batting cage and he takes the shot to.
Yeah, and we just post.
Yeah, we did. So there was so many movies that there's still so many movies that you can add onto this list. It was just really good. We're gonna keep doing stuff like that. We're gonna play with a couple other things as well.
Yeah, all the followers of the EAC Show on IG, on Twitter, we appreciate all of the interactions and all the messages you guys send. We appreciate it a lot.
I mean, absolutely, without question. I mean, it was just kind of weird because I'm trying to get the fan interaction, but I'm getting it in a wrong place, and I'm trying to recenter it to where it goes. So some people they don't mind doing that. They don't mind posting it and they show that their comments or whatever. Yeah. But some people they like to stay private. I'm like, what are you staying private for? Like, it's just fun. Like, you know what I mean? It's just fun. I had this one buddy. He texted me. He's like, you forgot about the program. I was like, damn, I did forget about the program.
The program?
Program was with Omar Epps. He was playing football, but they were copying Florida State's whole vibe. Like, Florida State's whole vibe. The whole movie is with Omar Epps, and he's the running back. And he's trying to date this really, really, proper girl, and the father doesn't accept him because he's from the ghetto.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, you got it. See, there you go. There's something to watch this weekend. You got to watch the program. Yeah. But it's literally it's a rip off of Florida State University. They got the same colors in the movie. All of that stuff is literally the same exact thing. But I'm definitely gonna check out Ip Man this weekend. I'm gonna watch some of it. You told me, Marcus Mack, that Mike Tyson is in the third one.
Yeah. Is he? Wait, no, I didn't tell him that. You told him that. Mike Tyson's in the third
one? Mike Tyson's in the third one.
No, it wasn't Mike Tyson. It was. You sure the tall white guy where it was boxing?
Yeah.
And he challenged Sifu. He challenged Master Ip.
Yeah. But Mike Tyson was in that one. He didn't fight him. He was in that.
So I'm gonna be watching Ip Man this weekend. So we're gonna figure out what Ip Man is.
It out. He got the drum roll. And
then what we're gonna do is right after the show is over, and we're gonna post this on IG as fast as we can. We're gonna get this after post production. We're gonna do Marcus Mack and myself. We're gonna do a little commentating. We're gonna find a YouTube clip of Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme and his character Frank Dukes fighting Chung Lee. And Marcus Mack and myself are going to do commentating on that actual final fight scene. And you guys are going to have to check it out on IG for sure. I think it's going to be epic. We're going to try to work something out on that. But once again, we appreciate the interaction, all the love and support that we're getting. I think this was really our best interaction with the fans on IG. And then also we got a couple other things too. Still trying to figure out where's Cam Newton going to end up. It kind of seems like he's running out of places to go.
I mean, talent-wise, it shouldn't be a reason why.
Yeah, but I just think location market smack. I mean, what teams are left that need a quarterback? I mean, other than Patriots, which I think they're gonna stand pat.
They're gonna get either fresh blood, or
yeah,
they're gonna get something. Because that's a big shoe to fill.
Yeah, of course. So I don't see where Cam, Jameis, Andy Dalton. I don't see where some of these guys are gonna end up. There's not enough spots for them to fill, really and truthfully. And I'm worried because Andy Dalton's still a really good quarterback. And so is Cam Newton. When Cam Newton's healthy, he's something special.
Yeah.
He's really, really, really something special. So I'm a little bit worried because I want to see these guys flourish and perform well, because when they do, it helps the sport, which we enjoy to watch. We really enjoy to watch it. Now, there was something I saw today that kind of bothered me. And it was Adam Scheffler reporting on Tua Tagovailoa's medical information that the teams need in order to draft him, because he's coming from Alabama. He got hurt and he's going to get drafted. And they're basically saying because of the situation with the coronavirus, some of these teams aren't going to be able to get the necessary information that they need to make sure he's ready to play coming this year. Or is he worth drafting because there's no medical issues? Let me explain something to you. I just watched Tom Brady get a physical in New York, sign a $50 million guaranteed deal in his kitchen. They sent it to him. He signed it in his kitchen. He posted on Instagram that he signed with the Buccaneers, right? You could do the same exact thing with Tua. He can go to a doctor in Alabama. You check him out. You trust the doctor. You check him out. You go over the medical records or whatever it may be. And Tua could get drafted just like that. It's no different. Don't make it seem like because one player did it this way and get special treatment, you can't give that player the same special treatment.
It's just Tom Brady, bro.
I know it's Tom Brady, but we're talking about Tua can for the right team, Tua could be of that nature if you give him the chance. Like he's good. He's an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
He's an elite quarterback. There's nothing that he can make all the throws. His percentage on completions was above 70%. He was amazing while he was healthy. It wasn't until he got hurt and you got some durability issues or questions there, but that's fine. That's understandable. But still, you can't say that Tom Brady can go out there and get a physical in New York and sign a $50 million contract, and Tua's probably going to sign a contract for a lot less, and you can't do the same thing. I mean, if I'm the Dolphins, who else? Who else has the top? The Cincinnati Bengals. You might have. I'm trying to think who else has. Yeah, you got a bunch. No, not the Giants. The Giants ain't gonna take him. They're in on Daniel Jones. But I'm saying you got other teams that have the ability of signing Tua as a quarterback for their team. They're gonna go above and beyond to get those. You know what I'm saying? To sign him, they're gonna do what they have to do. So if you gotta take a road trip, get in a car, fly a private plane, I don't care what you gotta do. You make sure you get the medical records and the information you need, and you sign the kid. And that's it. So let me get to this part of the show. This part of the show is brought to you by ElCubanoSandwichShop.com. Use the promo code EAC and receive discounts on online pickups or delivery orders. Enjoy a cafe con leche or a natural pre-workout shot of Cuban coffee to start your day. The daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. Once again, use the promo code EAC. That's ElCubanoSandwichShop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC. So, Marcus Mack, you're going to have to hold down the fort today. Unfortunately, my UCF activist, my overall sports enthusiast, the big one, Cameron Dinnan.
Shout outs to Cam.
Shout out to Cam.
We miss you, Cam.
He couldn't make it tonight, so we're going to hold down the fort for him. So there was a couple things that Cam wanted to tackle. I think I touched a little bit of it in the beginning, but we're going to go over it again because Cam wanted to make sure that he got his topics or his point of views out on the show. So why don't you read off topic number 1 and we can go back and forth on that.
Well, the Falcons, they make a little upgrade from Freeman to Gurley, and they might be getting a better Freeman, a better version of Freeman and Gurley.
That is true. So like I said earlier, Todd Gurley literally was a free agent for like 5 seconds because he was cut and then he was signed. That was it. It was over. So what ended up happening is Devontae Freeman ended up getting cut from the Atlanta Falcons. He has to find a new job. And Todd Gurley ended up getting cut from the LA Rams. And that happened because how much money is being given to Goff. Goff is getting so much money in LA that you had to do it. I mean, you just had to do it. You can get the production level that Gurley has been dishing out just from random running backs. You could do running back by committee, and then all of a sudden now, because of Goff's large, enormous contract, you have to get rid of Gurley. So Gurley gets cut, casualty of war pretty much, and then he ends up getting picked up by the Atlanta Falcons, which ends up being a really, really good situation from him. He went to the University of Georgia. He'll be lined up with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. So I think that's a really, and also Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst just got traded there from the Ravens. So I think that's a really, really good trade to try to help that Atlanta Falcons team. Atlanta hasn't had no problems offensively. It's been on the other side of the ball. So I think they need to focus on the defensive side of the ball to be able to help them be competitive in that NFC South, which is really tough now that you got Thomas Brady, Drew Brees, and the Saints. I'm just looking forward to it once football actually gets started. That's another question, Marcus Mack, about all this. We could talk all day long, but if any of this gets delayed, we're stuck. Like, if any of football gets delayed, like, what are we going to do?
Talk about sports movies.
I mean, of course, yeah. We'll find content. We'll find content. Us here on the show, we're creative. We have so many ideas that we haven't even put out yet just because of time and availability.
Yeah.
But we have so many ideas. That's fine. I'm not worried about that happening. I'm more worried about, the actual product. The actual product. People want to see that.
This is a very scary time, though, because it's like I've never seen anything like this.
No, no one, not in our lifetime. No, of course not at all. No, of course not, without question. But football is what the American people want to see. That's like their drug.
Yeah,
that's what they're addicted to. They need their fix. If they don't get their fix, they're gonna go nuts.
Isn't football like the only sport that's only in America?
No.
Everything else is...
No, what are you talking about? No.
Huh? What?
Football in Canada, Canadian Football League.
Word?
Yeah.
Oh, why did I not know that?
No, man. I didn't get the memo on that. Not at all. So give me Cam's give me Cam's topic number 2.
Give me 1 second. I'm having a little issue here with because Cam sent me this not too long ago, so I'm just pulling up on my computer. Okay, Melvin Gordon picking Denver to be able to play the Chargers twice per year, which is very rare.
So Melvin Gordon, once again, like I said earlier, Melvin Gordon ended up signing a 2-year deal with the Denver Broncos, and now he gets to play the LA Chargers twice a year, so he gets to stick it to his old team. That doesn't really happen too often. It's very, very rare, but because he was a free agent, he got to choose where he was going. So he's going to be playing against the LA Chargers once in Denver and once in LA. When they play in LA, I don't know how many fans the Chargers are actually going to have come out, because the Chargers struggle with fans supporting their team. It's a very, very ugly situation. They couldn't even sell out a soccer stadium, guys, when they were playing temporarily in the soccer stadium last year. I mean, that place only holds 28,000 fans, and there were more away fans for every game that the Chargers played in that stadium than their own. So, I mean, that's nutty to me. That's mind-boggling. And then they're going to move into this brand new stadium that they're sharing with the Rams. It's almost like you should literally put the Rams and the Chargers to play on the same, like they should split the field and make it 2 fields so you can have both teams playing at the same time, because the Chargers can't fill that stadium. They can't. If you can't fill a 28,000 a seat soccer stadium, how are you going to fill this massive monstrosity of a stadium that you just built called the Sci-Fi Stadium? You're not going to be able to.
What does that fit? What, 70?
I think it's like 60 or 50,000. It's a big number, but if you can't fit 28, how are you going to fit that much? It's retarded. But shout outs to Melvin Gordon. He ended up getting a 2-year deal, so he got a little bit of bread. He's going to end up helping the Denver Broncos out in their situation, and it's going to lead into this next topic. I remember the topic, what it was. It's going to lead into this next topic right here. Yes.
Yeah. How much of Phillip Lindsay's role gets taken?
Phillip Lindsay's role is going to be diminished because of Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon's a back that can do it all. He could catch it out of the backfield. He could tote the ball 20, 25 times. He could handle the rock as much as he can. But Phillip Lindsay also is a scat back. He can also do the same exact things on third down, give Melvin Gordon a break. He could pick up. It's actually helpful because then You keep the two guys fresh more. You're not relying on just one running back. And that was the problem that the Rams were doing in the beginning with Gurley, and that's how he got hurt. You were toting the rock so much with Gurley, and he was handling everything for you offensively with the checkdowns and the handoffs, that he got beat up. He really got beat up. He got beat up bad. So I think Phillip Lindsay's role is going to diminish a little bit, but I think it also helps him because he stays fresh. Gordon stays fresh. Would take so much pressure off their quarterback. So I think Phillip Lindsay is going to be okay, even though his role is going to be diminished by Melvin Gordon.
Okay. And the last topic, Sean Payton catches the coronavirus. Will it lead to the entire Saints team getting tested?
I'm a little bit sensitive on this subject because it seems like to me, and I might be speaking inaccurately, I don't know. It seems like to me like the coronavirus testing is extremely expensive. And it seems like to me that only, certain people of wealth are able to afford this test outside of hotspots that are being tested, like in New York and, like Italy and stuff like that. I just saw, if I'm not mistaken, Jack Ma, who's the owner of Alibaba, donated like 500,000 tests of the coronavirus. And it's like, why does he have to do that? The test should be free. You understand?
They say it's a strand of a flu, but it's a new strand, so it calls for new forms of testing, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but still, like that should be like an expense that should be covered because we're talking about.
You would think so.
Yeah, you would think so.
America.
Yeah, but the capitalizing part. But back to the Sean Payton part. Sean Payton became the first NFL staff member coach to test positive for the coronavirus. Sean Payton was at the NFL draft. Sean Payton was at another event with people. So he came out to be able to tell the world that, other people might be exposed to get tested. And that's great. He's doing a great job. The problem is not everybody can be tested. Not everybody can be tested. You can go to the hospital right now and you could tell the hospital, hey, I'm not feeling too good or whatever it may be. The hospital's they're gonna do the assessment, the evaluation. But if they don't have the ability to test you there, unless you're showing symptoms of the stuff that you need to be showing, they're not gonna send you to get tested for the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So you could probably end up going right back home with antibiotics
with the coronavirus.
And
what's so crazy? There's people who have gotten tested for it that have it, but they're not showing symptoms.
Exactly. So also like in the situation to where you had Marcus Smart. You had from the Boston Celtics that tested positive, and there's still, I think, another player on that team that tested positive. They haven't released his name. You still got the 3 players for the Nets. No one has released their names. You got 2 players from the Lakers. You got 3 players from the Philadelphia 76ers. So it's only going to get worse and worse. It's only going to get worse and worse. We might as well just assume like 40 to 50% of people have it. Put it that way. You just don't know.
That's crazy.
It's going to get to that point. You just don't know. But in my opinion, I think the government should figure out a way to get the test to the necessary places as fast as possible. You have to. To try to limit the spread of this virus. I mean, you can go to countries like China. China literally, they waited too long, and then they finally attacked it, and then they the numbers are so low to where China's actually thinking about opening up movie theaters again. That's how low the number is right now. Or you can handle it like Italy, who didn't take it serious, and you see Italy now is the number 1 coronavirus deaths in the world. It overtook China, who's had so many cases. China's had, I think, 80,000 cases of coronavirus.
Is this like the worst, widespread virus?
No, I mean, you got the plague. Plague was way worse back in the days, but I mean, we didn't have nowhere near the advanced technology that we have now. But still, I'm just saying that we have the means to stop this type of stuff, and the response that they're giving us is for people to stay socially distanced and stay at home and don't go outside and stuff like that. But people wouldn't necessarily have to do that stuff if this stuff was available to the public faster. So if you got these tests, these coronavirus tests, to the necessary places, to the necessary hospitals and stuff like that, you'll be able to examine and analyze people much, much faster than what we're doing right now.
In China, isn't medical free over there?
Yeah, I mean, but you got to understand, it's a government run country. Yeah, so the government can dictate whatever the hell they want,
Yeah.
would hear, certain health companies and stuff like that, there's an expense that they don't want to cover unless it's being, unless their hands are being washed from it.
Yeah, this is a capitalist country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so, for example, if the test costs you $1,200 and your insurance company's like, nah, we're not covering that. They got to wait to get the approval from whoever else to say, no, it's okay, cover it.
Yeah.
Then they'll do it. You understand? So that's the problem and the issue I have. We can be, especially being in my opinion, the best country in the world, we shouldn't be dragging our feet on this. You understand? We should be the leaders. We should be like, oh, look, if this worked for China, all right, we're going to do that times 5, in order to cut it down as quickly as possible. Because we don't need to be what China is or be what Italy is. We need to learn from those mistakes and be better,
Yeah, I mean, well, in America's history, this was once said, just bear with me on this. This was once said that America eats its children. So I really want to say, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. We're on a public platform and go out on a limb here and say America just doesn't really care.
Sometimes, not all the time.
Not all the time.
I mean, I see a lot, and I want to point this out. I see a lot of people getting together, like the people themselves, I'm going to, the supermarket and telling the workers at the supermarket, I appreciate everything that you're doing because they're working overtime, Oh,
no. The people amongst the people, yes. But, we're in a country where the Constitution initially, there's something in the Constitution that says that the people are protected by the Constitution from the government. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying
but it doesn't work out
that way. But it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
We know what's going on. There's always something going on, and I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories.
I don't
really care, but it's a lot going on, and it's nobody cares. They don't care. The people in power don't care.
I mean, Marcus Mack, I like the fact that these bigger name people are coming out and they're giving their opinions on what should be done, but they're only giving their opinions on what should be done once they test positive. Because I guarantee you they weren't doing that stuff before they tested positive. Once they tested positive, then they say, oh, don't go outside, don't do this, don't do that, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Because it affected you, now you have something to say. Yeah. You weren't saying anything before. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's really bad. Okay, listen. No. I'm going to the store and people are wearing gloves, face masks.
Hey, listen. I applaud it. I applaud it. It doesn't bother me not one bit. I applaud it.
Protect yourself. Definitely.
Protect yourself.
I've never seen this all my life. I've never seen nothing like this.
I mean, these are definitely new times that we're in, Marcus Mack. I mean, it's just facts. It's affecting day-to-day life. Day-to-day life matters more than everything else. Definitely. As a sports show, we try to, incorporate sports in the day-to-day life. We're coming up with our own ideas. I think, like I said, Marcus Mack, we're going to come out with bits where we probably take a garbage can and put it in the parking lot and start hitting golf balls into the garbage cans to give away.
Did you see the post that I sent you where the kid took a golf club
and
hit the football into the basketball hoop?
So basically on IG there was a post that Marcus Mack sent me, and it was a kid with a golf club, and he took a football and he hit the football into the basketball net and it went in, and they videotaped the whole thing.
Three sports in one.
Yeah, you got to come up with that creative stuff right now, because you know what, our sports that we're used to and we took for advantage of, because we just literally would just be on in the bar, we weren't really paying attention to it. Now we're feeding for it. Now we want it.
Don't worry. To all because we're gonna post this part of the show here on IG. To everyone on IG, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have, because we talked about bringing in the darts.
Yeah.
We're gonna compete with the darts, and we're gonna do
oh, by the way, shout out
batting cages.
Shout out to the writer on YouTube. I'm gonna call him 501. That's his name from now on, because he said that it's not called darts. It's professionally called 501.
Okay.
So because I guess that's the score. See, I didn't know that neither. I had no idea neither. And then another poster wrote that he doesn't remember spiders being fought in college. That spiders are normally fought in prison, and I told him that the EAC Show cannot confirm nor deny that case. So we're just gonna leave it like that. We're just gonna leave that alone.
Do I edit that part out?
we cannot confirm or deny that.
Shout outs to him. What's that guy's name again?
501.
501.
501 is his name. That's what I told him. I'm gonna call him from now on. 501.
Okay, 501.
501. So this part of the show is brought to you by ElCubanoSandwichShop.com. Use the promo code EAC and receive discounts on online pickups or delivery orders. Enjoy a cafe con leche or a natural pre-workout shot of that Cuban coffee to start your day. The daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. Once again, use the promo code EAC. That's ElCubanoSandwichShop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC. Now, Marcus Mack, I came up with an idea, and I don't know, we didn't get the chance to talk about it in pre-production, and I thought about calling Fridays from now on F It Fridays.
F It? Is that like a new clothing line?
No, F It, like It Fridays.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I mean, where we going with this?
The reason why I say that is because F It Fridays can be anything. So F It Fridays could be F It, I'm happy that it's Friday. F it, it's finally Friday. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Just
like,
let go, let loose.
Just let go, let loose.
Okay,
yeah.
I like that.
You know, because I, in my opinion, I don't want to be so structured sometimes. I want the show to be loose and just be about ourselves. Yeah, be organic and be about ourselves. So I think from now on, we're going to call Friday's episode F It Fridays.
F It Fridays?
Yeah,
so
F It Fridays.
So right now we have Social Media Mondays.
Yeah, so we got Social Media Mondays, and then Wednesdays is obviously EAC Headlines.
Okay, yeah. But I mean...
Because we don't do EAC headlines on any other day.
Every day, yeah.
Right, so you do EAC headlines on Wednesday, and then Fridays will be F It Fridays. And then when we develop a following, we'll allow our following to come up with topics for us to discuss on the third part of F It Fridays.
Yeah.
You understand? So like if somebody wants us to talk about I don't know, Russian basketball or, you know, rugby or whatever they want us to talk about.
Rugby, very rough sport.
Yeah, whatever. They wanted to talk about cricket. Well, I'll find out and figure out how to talk about cricket. I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's where we're going to go from now on. I think every Friday is going to be
talk about the horse races?
If that's what the fans want to hear, I'll do my research. I'll do my research all day long.
I think that'll fit right into EAC bets.
EAC bets is something I definitely have to get off the ground. It's just nothing to bet on right now.
Yeah, right now it's just at a very rough time. Right now,
you have no idea. Like, I have people constantly DMing me about it. Like, they sending me their bet slip. They can't wait. Like, they're sending me former like picks like they had, and I'm like, just hold on because none of that is current.
Yeah.
So look, don't worry about it. It's coming. Like, all of that is gonna come. Like, I'm talking about people bet dumb stuff like, what's the color of the Gatorade at the Super Bowl? The coin flip? How long the national anthem is gonna be? They bet retarded.
It goes
stuff.
Down with those bets.
How long the halftime show is? Like, they bet some ridiculous stuff. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Without questions, like, first half over-unders and the spread and this and that. People be betting live stuff. I'm like, yo, this is retarded.
What is the craziest thing that you've ever bet on, Emilio?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Wow. The craziest thing I ever bet on personally was when I first started betting. I bet. My wife's gonna hear this. I bet $4,400 to win $4,000 on Barcelona versus Real Madrid, which is a soccer match in Spain. And I was new to betting at the time. I didn't know that when you take soccer bets, you either have to take the team to win or the team to lose. And then there's a draw factor. So there's a spread on the game, meaning, like, let's say Real Madrid is -1. So Real Madrid, in order for you to win your bet, if you take them, they have to win by 2 goals. If they win by 1 goal, it's a push. And then if they don't win, then, you know, Barcelona wins, you lose, right? That's the difference. There's a spread. So there's 2 sections. And then there's money line. So the money line is you take Barcelona, Real Madrid, or you take the draw. Well, I took Barcelona to win the game, money line, and it ended up being a draw. I never bet soccer before in my life. In my thoughts, I'm like, okay, it's a push. I didn't lose, I didn't win, whatever, you know, it's a draw. No, because I didn't click draw, I lose the play. Wow. So I lost $4,400 not knowing the game.
Wow, I can't imagine that.
I never forget it because I thought something was wrong. So I called my guy and I'm like, yo, what's going on? Why is this a loss? And he tells me the story and I just turned pale. I just turned white. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think 4,400 is a lot.
No, but you got to understand, 4,400 is a loss. But 4,400 when you think that you didn't lose is totally different.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely understand that.
Like, I'm sitting there mind boggled. I'm like, for like a 30 minutes after the play was over, like, how did I just lose this? Like, how? Like, explain. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, because it couldn't register in my head. I'm like, it was a draw. Like, there was no winner, there was no loser. But I didn't understand that you had to hit draw in order to win your play. And that was in a very.
If you would have hit draw, you would have broken.
If I would have hit draw, I would have won. No. If I would have hit draw, I think it was plus 300. So if you bet 4,400, you win like $12,000.
Oh wow!
You win way more money than that. Like,
oh yeah, now I see why you went.
You win a ridiculous amount of money than that. But that's probably the worst one. And it was the very, very beginning. I was probably like 21, 22.
Yeah, I think that I had, and everybody here at the EAC show knows that I'm not a betting man. I don't like betting on stuff. The craziest thing I've ever bet on back in the day, we used to sorry whoever this is if you remember, but we used to throw eggs on Halloween off the roof, right? And
you were one of those guys.
So you throw eggs at the bus or whatever it costs, whatever, just kids, whatever, right? So there was this kid, he had crazy aim. We on the roof. And we're like, okay, well, I bet you whatever we bet at the time that you can't hit the bus driver. Dude. You can hit the bus, but you can't hit the bus driver. Yeah. Bro, one egg, one throw.
So the difference is, and then you can tell the age difference, because I'm from New York, Marcus Mack is from New York, and they did it with eggs. We did it with water balloons. So we used to do the same exact thing with water balloons. So let's say Marcus Mack was at the bottom, and I'm on the 7th floor, and let's hit Marcus Mack with the water balloon. You get $10 if you hit him in the head, and you just drop the water balloon. You go in there. It's kind of similar to Rookie of the Year, not Rookie of the Year. Little Big League. Little Big League is a movie, and that's another movie we didn't even shout out on the IG. Little Big League was a movie where the little kid's grandfather had died. He ends up taking over the team as a little kid. He becomes the manager of the team, and then he starts doing little kid antics with the players in the hotels. And it just so happens one of the things that he did was throw water balloons off the window.
But what's so crazy is if you throw an egg too hard, it'll break in your hand. Mm-hmm. This kid had an immaculate throw. Immaculate.
He was Tom Brady with the eggs.
Yeah,
huh? He was Tom Brady with the eggs. Well, guys, that's gonna end episode 18 of the EAC show. Marcus Mack, I appreciate you. Omar Blanco, I appreciate you. Kids, love you guys. Janaya, thank you for coming, baby. I appreciate it. All right, make sure you check us out. Episode 19. Click, like, subscribe on all podcast platforms and on YouTube, and we'll check you out episode 19. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC show.